The Equality Act 2010 has been law for 15 years. Most grassroots clubs still don't understand their obligations. Here's what you need to know, what the law actually says. Under the Equality Act, clubs have a legal duty to make reasonable adjustments for disabled players. Neurodivergence can be considered a disability. ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, anxiety disorders all can qualify. You don't need a formal diagnosis to make adjustments. You just need evidence of need. And here's the bit that catches clubs out. You have an anticipatory duty. That means you should be thinking about accessibility before someone asks, not after. What reasonable adjustments look like in football. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just adaptations that help players access the game. Here are some examples. Extra processing time for verbal instructions. Give the instruction, pause, then demonstrate. Quiet spaces for sensory overwhelm. A bench away from the touchline noise. 5 minutes to reset. Visual schedules for session structure. Show the plan, don't just tell it. Modified instructions for dyslexic players. Use diagrams, keep language simple. Pre-session prep for autistic players. Tell them what's happening before it happens. Movement breaks for ADHD players. Build them into the session, don't treat them as a disruption. Most of these cost nothing. They just require awareness and intention. The documentation bit everyone forgets. Making adjustments isn't enough. You need to record them. Why? Because if a complaint arises, you need evidence that you've been proactive. Good documentation looks like this. Observable player behaviours, struggling with verbal instructions, sensory overload at noisy matches. Adjustments you tried, visual demos, quieter warm-up location. What worked and what didn't. No diagnosis required, no medical gatekeeping. It's a 2-minute log per player. Nothing bureaucratic, just evidence of care. Where clubs are getting it wrong. Mistake 1, waiting for parents, carers, guardians to demand adjustments. That's not anticipatory duty. That's reactive. The law expects you to think ahead. Mistake 2, treating neurodivergence as a medical issue, requiring diagnosis wrong. You respond to observable need, not paperwork. And people are waiting years for a diagnosis, so waiting for one before taking action is a mistake. Mistake 3, no documentation. If you're not recording what you're doing, you can't evidence compliance. And if you can't evidence it, you're exposed. Mistake 4, treating reasonable adjustments as special treatment. They're not favours, they're legal obligations, and they make football accessible and inclusive. What this actually means for your club, you're probably already making some adjustments without realising it. The good coaches do this instinctively. They adapt, they notice, they respond. The good clubs put support in place for this to happen. The good county FAs have tools to help their stakeholders. But if it's not consistent across your club, if only some coaches get it, you've got gaps. And gaps create risk. Risk of complaints, risk of players dropping out, risk of reputational damage. But more importantly, you're not serving players properly. Why clubs struggle with this? Because welfare officers and coaches are working in isolation. They do a one-off safeguarding course, maybe an FA module. Then they're on their own. No peer support, no ongoing CPD, no practical resources for matchday situations. And when they need help, they turn to Facebook groups where Dave tells them neurodiversity is a fad and they should just get on with it. That's not a support system. That's a liability. What proper support looks like. Ongoing training that keeps pace with what you're actually seeing on the pitch. Football-specific resources you can use at the weekend. Peer networks where coaches and welfare officers, safeguarding leads and other volunteers can share challenges without judgment. Expert guidance from people who understand both neurodiversity and grassroots football. Documentation tools that make compliance straightforward, not bureaucratic. And crucially, support for parents, carers, guardians too. Because educated families become partners, not adversaries. What you should do next. Talk to your county FA. Ask them what training and support is available around Equality Act compliance. Ask if they provide ongoing CPD, not just one-off workshops. Ask if they offer resources that translate legal obligations into practical matchday strategies. Ultimately, though, the responsibility still sits with your club. You can cover all this and more by joining the FMHA Neurodiversity, Mental Health and Safeguarding Academy. The FMHA Neurodiversity, Mental Health and Safeguarding Academy gives your entire club unlimited access to unlimited seats in face-to-face training in neurodiversity, mental health, first aid and emotional regulation, monthly expert-led CPD from recognised specialists, football-specific resources updated monthly, matchday checklists, parent conversation templates, adjustment guides, a fiercely moderated peer community, no Daves allowed the player log app in development for documenting reasonable adjustments, Free parent, carer, guardian academy. So families become partners, not problems. Not a one-off workshop, not a Facebook group. An ongoing support system built specifically for grassroots football.